Good morning, pregame crew. It is Wednesday, April 27th, 2022, 6:22 a.m. Mountain, 8:22 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Chark Lori. You're at the pregame show. So we officially get started in 8 minutes. What I do between now and then is just kind of get you prepared for the day, give time for my friends to come in, sit down, get a comfortable chair, talk amongst yourselves. Audio visual check, please. And if I forget later, I'm going to say it now. Just hit that like button. Why don't you give me a follow on Twitter at CharkLLori? I just posted the kind of quasi schedule for the morning. So that way, if you want to fast forward to whatever section you're interested in, you can do that. Hey, Jerome. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Rob, Roger, Mary, me, myself, and I. Yep, Roger, Tammy, Lisa, 1-2, Robert, Empower, Greg, Topher, Amara, Asia, Night Truck. There is my Madison. Hey, Clint. Hey, Michelle. What does my crystal ball say today? My crystal ball says we most likely have more pain in store for bulls. Because I must go with where the most likely scenario is. 4-hour lower highs, daily lower highs, more pain in store for bulls. Thanks, Jerome. Hey, Tesh. I have Microsoft on my list. No problem there. Roger, did I skip saying hi to you? Hi, Roger. You want to go over tech? Okay, let's go over tech. Tech is in the metals and minerals. Gold broke weekly support overnight. We have earnings, it looks like, on tech coming up. We have it this morning, 27th. Yep, we had it this morning. It looks like they had a beat. Let me look at it again. Yeah, they had a 3% beat on earnings per share and a 1% beat on revenue. You have resistance at 36.90. And let me go to the 15-minute, make sure no other. So 36.90, then 37.79. It's got to get on the daily. On the daily, we're in a downtrend. And even on this little bounce and earnings beat, it could still be a bear flag. So bulls need to be cautious. This is heavily related to metals. Gold's in a downtrend, copper's in a downtrend, silver's in a downtrend. So we have lots of downtrends out there. And most importantly, we have the dollar. The dollar is tapping on the glass here at the quarterly resistance of 102.99. 102.99 right here. Our resistance is at 102.82. We are right there. We need the dollar to pause here for the metals to get any type of bounce going, and it would help names like tech. What's up? Hey, MWM. Hey, Roger. I appreciate you all being here and supporting me. You're awake and ready, Jessica and Coeur d'Alene. Oh, every time I see your name, my heart aches a little bit. I miss Coeur d'Alene. Well, thank you, Addict. That is very nice. 1999 was awesome. My daughter was 3 years old. I was a single mom. It was some of the happiest times of my life. With my sissy girl, Madison Lewis. All right, we'll get started here in just a second. So the format is I go over the Fab Four futures, crypto, commodities, movers, and shakers of the day. And my goal is to get you ready for the trading day. I always say I wake up in the morning and all the puzzle pieces were dumped on the floor. And it's my job to grab those puzzle pieces and put together a picture for the day. I literally have one, and I know most people overuse the word literally, so literally sorry about that. But I see one glimmer of hope for the bulls today, and it's not enough to take bullish positions. But I see one, and I'll get to it in a minute. So here is what I do. You can hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter at CharkLLori. Here is the format, and here's my schedule for the morning. So this is the time I do the housekeeping, AV check, go over a few chart requests. 6:30, I start with those indices, commodities, and cryptos. Then for 10 minutes, I give you 8 or 9 names that I'm watching. Queen of the Mountain setups, i.e. higher conviction setups. Then I do a few chart requests at the end. And then our Chart Guys live market coverage. Today, Dan will be going live at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. And then as soon as I click the off button, I go to these notes and I hit copy and paste, and I copy all of these notes for the TCG members so they can mark them up as they see fit. So that's kind of what our schedule is like for the day. So you're an early bird. Thank you for being here. I talk fast. So if you need to rewind, that's good too. Everything works. And a lot of the levels that I'm going over, I've created a horizontal ray for them. So you'll see those levels reflected over here in light gray. The 421725, for example, is our resistance on ES and our support 4164. So if I talk too fast, I don't enunciate, or whatever, the accent is just too strong, you can always look over here and decipher what I'm saying with those light gray levels. I didn't make a note of this morning. We're rejecting at the 50 RSI on the hourly. Hey, Maddie. Thank you for coming back. You're hollering, Chris? Well, I'm a hollering too. Prince was in his outline. Jessica, yeah, I'm just going to come up, see you. We'll go out on a boat. How about that? Yeah, Prince was in his prime for sure. Good morning, Positively Positive. Hey, Chad. You obliterated the like button with thanks. Hey, Anu. Hey, Malachi. Good morning, Matthew. Matthew, I don't have anything positive to say about silver this morning. I know you're a silver bug. However, I did note we got this long lower wick. Now, this daily candle obviously is not closed. We have many, many more hours left on this candle, but that lower wick has to be a little encouraging for the bulls here. We're getting over this 2367, so we actually broke 2363. We got a higher high. Now we have enough room for a higher low and a higher high. But 102.99 must reject on the dollar, and it must roll over, in my opinion, for silver to get the tailwind to get any bounce going. But again, we're looking for a weekly lower high, looking for a daily lower high. 4-hour higher high may be on the table, but maybe not at the initial push against 2397. Yeah, Night Truck, go get them. Netflix fundamentally changed. Bulls would love for this to be some type of falling wedge, but here's the anatomy of a falling wedge. We get these lower lows with very little follow through. It's like a ball dribbling, and it starts getting lower. You bounce it off the floor, and then it finally loses pressure and kind of phases on out. And that's the anatomy of a falling wedge, where it gets very little follow through on those lower lows. These follow throughs are getting, these lower lows are getting follow through. So let's look. That's 12%. Oh, no, that's not accurate. 1 second. My magnet didn't grab right. I love you, magnet. I love you, magnet. Quit being mean to me. About 10% drop from the initial low of earnings opening day. Those are lower lows getting followed through. So if something fundamentally has changed on Netflix, we have to recognize that. Don't get too caught up and swindled by this RSI and say, oh my God, the weekly RSI is 19, monthly RSI is oversold, I'm going to buy. It may very well bounce, and it will get a bounce eventually. But again, fundamentally has changed with the company, and we can't be aggressive buying this dip until you have some friends with you on the trade. We give no Oscars, trophies, or gold stars for buying the bottom. Hey, Neil, thanks for being here. Good morning, Jeff. Hey, Judd, I appreciate you being here too. Y'all ready to get started? Let's get started. Good morning. This is who I am, Charkow Lori. You can give me a follow on Twitter at Charkow Lori. You can check us out at chartguys.com. We teach technical analysis at the Chart Guys. So this is our Slack community. We have commodities this morning. I've gone over all of these: dollar, oil, nat gas, copper, silver, and kind of call out what's working, what's not working. Here's all the news articles from this morning. We have a futures channel. We have a very aggressive and active crypto channel. So if any of those things interest you, you could check us out at chartguys.com. Yep, Lucid had news, Jessica. I'll take a look at that one too. And so here are my notes for the day. I copy and paste these over for the Chart Guys community once I'm done with the day. So let's get started with the indices. Lower highs is what's on the horizon. 4-hour lower highs anticipated. Daily lower highs anticipated. Weekly lower highs anticipated. And what was working for the bulls was we had the weekly supports. Well, we've lost those. On a lot of charts, we've lost them. 412950. We've held it on ES. Okay, ES is holding weekly support. Okay, check. NASDAQ, no. RTY, no. YM, yes. So YM and ES are providing the only glimmers of hope right now with weekly support still intact. And I actually should also mention Apple. And Apple has earnings Thursday, and that could really change everything as well. So right now, the glimmers of hope. Let me use my notes function right here. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation. Here's the glimmers of hope for bulls. And they're just a slight twinkle. We're not talking about bright shining floodlight. I'm just talking about like tiny. VIX daily double top. ES holding weekly higher low. YM holding weekly higher low. Apple holding weekly higher low. What is bashing all bull hopes and dreams? And Q lower low on weekly. RTY lower low on weekly. So we have a lot of earnings names that just continue to fail to beat. So Boeing had a miss this morning. Google had a miss yesterday. Microsoft beat. Can Microsoft and Apple alone hold us up if Apple were to beat Thursday after hours or Amazon? It remains to be seen. But here is just the small glimmers of hope that I see for the bulls. And here's the two major things bashing all hope for the bulls. And this dollar strength is really slowing down the market as well. So I'm not going to say this analogy or this description as well as I'd like. I need to work on this articulation. But if you had to make $1 billion in earnings next quarter and the dollar continues to strengthen, that means, let's say the dollar goes up 10%. That means you then need to make 1.1 billion next quarter because you have to make more dollars. The dollar is stronger. So the dollar can hold back and also create inflation and hold back earnings growth. So we do have to know that. All right. HSI, Hang Seng Index, and the DAX in Germany are slightly green, not really giving us any blues clues over here. Hey, MG, thanks for being here. Okay. So where am I? ES. 4 hour is continuing to give me the most clarity. So we did have a little bounce overnight, and it is not the kind of bounce we want to see. We don't want the walk the dog bounces. Look at these walk the dog bounces. We don't want those. What I want is a waterfall drop. Get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. Max capitulation. Max margin calls, which, by the way, I think I did see margin calls yesterday on tick. See if I can show you real quick. Tick, you see that negative 425 exactly at 1:15 my time yesterday. That would be 3:15 Eastern. That's kind of margin call time. That was a max tick, which means they're selling more on the down tick than they're buying on the uptick. So I think margin calls are happening, but we want to just get it over with. Right where we are now, this is a slow bleed, folks, and buying the dip won't work. And recognize when it won't work, when the odds are stacked against you. So 421725 is your key resistance, and 4164 is support, and key support is 413675. Now let's look at everything on the monthly, all right? Yellow candle means inside bar. Again, if you're interested in my chart description or my chart layout, you can click on the video description below. It'll send you a PDF. Yellow is inside bar. We are nestled snugly within last month's range, March high to low. We're tucked inside, but just barely. And bulls are screaming from all directions. Hold that line. Hold 412950. Hold that line. Hold the monthly 21 EMA. Let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ broke it bearishly. Broke it bearishly by $130. And we broke this support over here of 12915. Our next support is not until 12207. So NASDAQ broke the monthly inside bar bearishly. Let's look at RTY. Broke it. 1883, we hit 1876. So I would call that a double bottom for now. And YM, we're not close to last month's low. So ES is still an inside bar, and I would say this is where all the hope lies. So on every chart, 4 hour lower high, most likely yes. NASDAQ, 4 hour most likely, a lower high, most likely yes. RTY, 4 hour lower high, most likely yes. You get the picture. YM, 4 hour lower high, most likely yes. Okay, and then here's that glimmer of hope I was talking about. The VIX. I feel sorry for my daughter listening to her mom just babble on about something and being silly. No, I don't like, sometimes, you don't like to hear your mom be silly, so sorry, sis. All right, so 3-1, we hit 3381 and 3383 from March 15th, the Ides of March, and we now have a double top. We are inside yesterday's range. This is one of those glimmers of hope for the bulls. However, look at this. We did this crap yesterday. This is typically a diamond pattern. Higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, and we still V-shaped. So we're doing it again. We're having a big pullback, but remember, VIX can still go take out those higher highs with no problem. But 3380 is going to be a pretty big resistance. And after that, we have 34, 3412, and 3752. Yeah. If I have time, I'll go over McDonald's. Yep, Tech, we have all the upgrades and downgrades over in our chat room and news. So if you're a TCG member, you have access to that. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, what's the most likely scenario? Y'all say it with me. You ready, class? 4-hour low or high, most likely. The bulls have given themselves enough room for a higher low compared to 37,700, and you have resistance at 39236, 40817. Ethereum, 4-hour lower high, most likely. Resistance 2915 and then 3038. Support 2766. 2766 on Ethereum. Nice bounce. We do have enough room for a 4-hour higher low. Okay, gold's getting a little bounce here. So gold got that lower wick like silver did here. So we're double topping right here at 1908. Next resistance 1912. We did lose this weekly uptrend by a few dollars. Let's see what the bulls can do now. And they need the dollar DXY to sit down. I noticed this little head and shoulders this morning. On oil, we're breaking that neckline. And to the downside, your next support is 98.72, 97.06. We have inventory at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. If you're new to trading oil, this will rip your face off. So you must know when you have all of these key inventory reports coming up, you have to know. See how oil is getting suppressed by the 4-hour 50 MA, the yellow line? Look at, what was it, gold on the hourly? Yeah, gold on the hourly was getting suppressed by the hourly 50 MA. 50 MA is causing a lot of problems for commodities on various time frames. Nat gas keeps getting these little tiny higher highs without a lot of follow through, which means we most likely have a rising wedge on a higher time frame. I was actually drawing this morning. So I like the uptrend line because we have so many touches. On the downside, we don't have a lot of touches, so it's not legit. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 rejections right here at this upper resistance line, and we're running into the 4-hour 50 MA, and we have 714.6 is your next resistance. Nat gas inventory tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Support 697. All right, movers and shakers. Apple, copper, AmeriAsia. You're a member, right? If you go look in our commodities channel, I talk about copper, and I like the 4-hour potential inverse head and shoulders it has going on. I was actually going to go look at FCX today, and I forgot. So we have potential 4-hour inverse head and shoulders forming on HG. So if you're interested in that, you can go check it out, Commodities channel. All right, Apple. This is what's catching my eye for Apple right here, 154.70. 154.70. That's what's catching my eye because I'm not looking for symmetry for inverse head and shoulders. I'm just looking for, this was the January 24th low. I believe this is FOMC low. And we may be able to find a temporary bottom in that area. So, and now we made a low of 153.85 after hours based on earnings reaction. So I would like a hold of 154.70. Actually have an alert set right there. And if you look at my charts, look at all those orange lines. You're like, what the heck? This lady has an issue with graffiti. These are all my alerts. Look at all of my alerts. I want to know when key levels are being breached or tested. All right, back to Apple. 154.70. What's the level? 154.70. What's the level? 154.70. That's the area I'm looking to hold on Apple for potential long on NASDAQ, noting that NASDAQ has a 4-hour lower high, most likely scenario. But I'm just going to be watching. And I'm not going to trade Apple this week because it has earnings. But you know Apple is a key clue for us on so many time frames for the market because it has an almost $3 trillion market cap. BA had a swing and a miss this morning on earnings. So we are in bear territory. As long as we stay below 162, bear flags are possible. 162 is that key top fish area for BA. If we were to get a more substantial bounce going, next resistance 163.50. No problem, Amira Asia. Okay, let's look at FCX real quick. Daily inside bar. I would say that's an accomplishment considering that copper was weak yesterday. The fact that FCX got a daily inside bar is pretty impressive. Resistance 41.83, support 40.08. Okay, we need to get over 41.83 and then 42.08 quickly in order to get a real trend change going. So odds favor we pull back here from this hourly 50 MA, and we need to keep a higher low compared to 39.84 and then 39.56. But I would say 39.84 is key support going forward, and you want to see them leap over 42.08. All right, Boeing missed. Baba. Baba is strong. It has some relative strength. Y'all know I don't like to trade China names a lot, but we're green this morning. It is really getting tight, and it's going sideways when NQ has been dumping. So I think we have a bottom fish attempt or area to bottom fish 83.28, $83. CMG. CMG had a bullish reaction to earnings. 14.64 is your bull flag area to hold on any pullback. And I have these levels typed up in my notes for TCG members. You'll get these notes. So if you want to program an alert, and you could just say, okay, tell me when it gets near 14.65. Bull flag 0.382 area must hold. You can just set alerts. This is the cheapest trading assistant out there, Google. Google had a swing and a miss on earnings, anything below 2291. I'm going to go 2291. Bear flag level to hold. That could be a key area for bears to defend for more downside on Google. Microsoft, key area 27. I already have my alert set there. 2773. 27773 is the bull flag area on this Microsoft beat. SMH. I wouldn't say I have a Queen of the Mountain setup for you. I've just adjusted this a couple times, trying to get the exact lineup of where the candle's going to be and where this trend line is. 226 could prove to be a key area for semis to hold. And so I have an alert there. You see, I have an alert set at all my key levels on the semis. Semis, I always tell you, is like the fuel for the tech engine. We need those semis to go to fuel the tech engine. And everything may still just pause, and it feels like it's just floating like in the Matrix, like it's just floating because everything is paused and just waiting for Apple and Amazon earnings. Tesla, what a mess. Okay, so 914.40. 914.40 is that area to hold for a bear flag to be in play for Tesla on the 4 hour. 914.40. Any push up into that area, I think, would be a good top fish area. This is important. Elon has borrowed money against his shares, using his shares as collateral. And I read two different numbers, so I'm just going to go with a mixture of the numbers, but 560 or 570, one of those two numbers is the margin call area that if Tesla were to drop below, Elon would get margin called and have to sell his Tesla shares. I think that is, it's 50%, not even 50, 40% below us. But I think that that is, I'm trying to choose my words carefully. I think Elon's in a precarious situation with that margin call so clearly defined and everyone knows it. It could be a target for bears. I can't go bullish on Tesla in here at all. I love Tesla fundamentally, and I'll just be honest with you. I love it fundamentally, but I think technically they have just entered a world of hurt. Twitter is supposed to be bought for $54.20, and I just read this morning there's $54.20. Yes, there's a $1 billion termination fee that Elon would have to pay if he doesn't go through with the deal with Twitter. So there's that too. So if anything falls apart on this Twitter deal, it is bad news bears for Twitter, and it's also bad news bears, in my opinion, for Tesla. So he'd have to pay the $1 billion. Well, maybe not bad news bears for Tesla. It actually may be good for Tesla shareholders. They don't have to share Elon, but for Twitter, really bad. Okay, LCID. So LCIG, let's look at the news this morning. One of the first news articles I posted. Right here, Lucid, Saudi Arabia deal to purchase up to 100,000 vehicles over 10 years. So Lucid got a good deal this morning with Saudi Arabia. They're going to buy 100,000 cars. They have earnings coming up next week. Whoa. 1761. So your next support is the 1725. Don't forget about this level before the 1612. Hmm. 1845 is where bulls want to hold in order to keep this bull flag alive, and next resistance over pre-market high is yesterday's high, 1934, 1945, then 1950. Okay. I can check. Sorry, I'm not trying to skip around. It's just I have to go fast. Visa is running into the 400, 4 hour 200 MA. Plenty of room now for a 4 hour lower high compared to 201.10 after hours earnings reaction low. And you have a support here on the hourly of 208.63. Looks good, actually. That's a good pull chart. And so when you're up here and you're like, gosh, I missed it. Okay, well, it depends on what the market's doing, but you could say, okay, I'm going to set a back burner alert. Let me know when the first 5 minutes gets oversold. Okay, CG, Carlisle Group, new. So they have earnings tomorrow. I don't know if it's before or after hours, so just look into that. 4 hour is barely oversold. Daily is not oversold. You have no support until 37.69. Below yesterday's low is 37.69. Hourly, not oversold. This is a walk the dog moment. They're just walking the yo-yo down and able to cool off RSI while they do it. Hi, I'm Ann. How are ya? Okay. So Facebook will dump tech. So it dumped in correlation to Google. So let's look at this. Let me show you. You see Facebook here, Netflix, Google. So Google missed. Netflix and Facebook are in the XLC communication sector, not necessarily XLK. They are in QQQ, but as far as S&P, they are in the same family. They're first cousins. So when one does bad, the other one gets in trouble. So that's what happened with Facebook. We have to always be aware of our correlations. So here's another riff off that question. Amazon. Why did Amazon get hit so hard yesterday? Apple was down 3.73%. Amazon was down 4.58%. Why? Let me show you. Guess who's first cousins over here? Tesla and Amazon, the largest holdings in consumer discretionary. They're first cousins. They're first cousins. So we always have to know, if Tesla's getting hammered, go look to short Amazon. Amazon's getting hammered, go look to short Tesla. Facebook getting hammered, go look to short Google. You have to know your cousins. You have to know your correlations. And Facebook earnings after hours today, and they've received a very large haircut since their cousin Netflix had earnings. So they've already got the beat down. They had this earnings beat down over here. And are they going to get another one today after hours? We'll see. You're welcome, Anu. Spot, kissing cousins. Spot had earnings this morning. Looks like there was a miss. Swing and a miss. 104. Your next support below 104 is 103.29. I can't short down here in the hole, but I can short a bounce. Anything below 105.59 keeps a bear flag alive. Yeah, Dixie's pretty rough right now. Last one. Please use stop losses. Please hit that like button. Looks like they had a beat on earnings. And I was sharing with y'all yesterday all the SunPower and Run, millions of dollars of call block buying. Someone wasn't anticipating this. Resistance 16880. Support 16515. Watch your tan. Oh wait, this is a semiconductor. Oh no, it's still solar. Watch your tan for positive correlation with ENPH. We're running into the 50 RSI. That's it for me. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Give me a follow on Twitter, Chark Al Lori, and TCGers. I'll see you in the room.